All right, guys, here's my video for problem 2 of module 5 assessment problems. Your number 2 is similar to this. All right, so my problem 2 says the cost to enter and go on rides at a local water park, Larry's Water World, is shown in the graph below. And you kind of see the graph to the left there. All right, and then right to the right of that graph, it says a new water park, Timmy's Tidal Takeover, just opened. You have not heard anything specific about how much it costs to go to this park, but some of your friends have told you what they spent. The information is organized in the table below. And then you see a table, number of rides, $0, spent, $16. Number of rides, $4, spent, $27.50. Number of rides, $8, spent, $35. Number of rides, $12, spent, $38. Then right below that, it says each park charges a different admission fee and a different fee per ride, but the cost of each ride remains the same. So once you get into the park at Larry's Water World, then every ride you go on will be the same amount. And once you get into Timmy's Tidal Takeover, same thing, the cost of each ride will be the same. Now, when you look at question A, it says, if you only have $26 to spend, which park should you attend? Assume the rides are the same quality. Explain. Now, you might know what to say here just intuitively, but you have to show your work to justify your answer. So I want to show you what you have to do to get an answer for problem A. So I'm going to take the practice kind of test away and let you see my work. All right, so for Larry's Water World, remember that's the graph. When I look at the graph there, I kind of see that there's a point right on the y-axis at 8, right? And the y-axis represents the total cost of dollars. The x-axis represents the number of rides. So when you see that graph starting at 8, that means that ordered pair 0, 8 is the first point on the graph. So that means 0 rides still is $8, all right? So what that means is that it cost $8 admission fee to get into Larry's Water World. And I kind of share that with you right here. And you see what I just said is written down here. All right, so now for Larry's, we got to find a rate of change, all right? And that's the definition of slope. So what I did then, I just used that first point, 0, 8. And then if you look on the graph where x is 1 and you stay on that line, that graph, that diagonal graph crosses that line there where if you go that vertical line right here and take it up till you hit that diagonal and then go over, you can see that at 1, the y value is 10. So that's my second ordered pair. So I show that to you right there. Now I'm going to find slope. And remember slope formula, y sub 2, which would be my 10, minus my y sub 1, which is my 8. Denominator, x sub 2, which is the 1, minus x sub 1, 0. So 10 minus 8 is 2, 1 minus 0 is 1, 2 over 1 is 2. So that's $2 per ride. So your slope represents the change, the rate of change. The rate there, right, is the cost per ride. So we're talking $2 per ride. So now for Timmy's Tidal Takeover, on the table there, you see that first point, 0, 16. So 0 is your number of rides. The dollar spent is 16. So that means at Timmy's, it costs $16 to get in. And I have to find the slope at Timmy's too. So I'm going to use this first point, 0, 16, and this last point, 12, 38. And I'm going to show you that on my work. So now there's my 2 points for my slope, my 0, 16, my 12, 38, and same formula. So y sub 2 is the 38 minus y sub 1, which is your 16. Denominator, x sub 1, 12, minus x sub 1, 0. So 38 minus 16 is 22. 12 minus 0 is 12. Then when I divide 22 divided by 12, I get 1.83. So that's $1.83 per ride at Timmy's Tidal Takeover, all right? So now then we can kind of use this information and kind of justify an answer for question A. Remember question A says if you got $26 to spend, which park should you attend, assuming the rides are the same quality? So now I want to show you what I did here on my next page. So on Larry's, right, it's an $8 admission cost. You guys got $26 to spend. So you can take the 26 minus that 8, and that leaves you $18 to spend on rides. Each ride at Larry's is $2. So if you divide the 18 by the 2, you can go on 9 rides at Larry's. So Timmy's, right, it was $16 admission. You got 26 bucks to spend. So if you take 26, right, minus the 16, that leaves you 10 bucks to spend on rides. Each ride at Timmy's is $1.83. So if you take the $10 divided by $1.83, that comes out to 5.46. Obviously, you can't go on 4/6 of a ride, so you can go 5 rides on Timmy's. So you should go to Larry's Water World because you can go on more rides. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go on to the next part of the problem there. So we're still on 2, and part B says this, right? Another water park, Puddles, opens, and they charge an admission fee of $36 with no additional fee for rides. So that means once you pay that admission fee to get in, you can go on as many rides as you want. It says, at what number of rides does it become more expensive to go to Larry's Water World than Puddles? At what number of rides does it become more expensive to go to Timmy's Title Takeover than Puddles? All right, so I'm going to show you the work there. All right, so what we need to do is on Puddles, right, it's 36 bucks, unlimited rides. So Larry's, remember, is $8 admissions, $2 per ride. So we kind of got to get an equation for Larry's. So we can let X represent the number of rides you can go on at Larry's Water World. So our equation would be $2 times every ride you go on plus that $8 admissions fee equals the $36, right? Because we're setting that equal to what it costs to go to Puddles, because we want to know on how many rides is it more expensive to go to Larry's. So I solve this equation. I'm going to isolate that X variable. So first thing I do is get rid of the 8. So I go minus 8 to both sides. You see that? 36 minus 8 is 28. On the left side, I bring down my 2x. So I have 2x equal 28. To get x isolated, I'm dividing by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times x is x. 28 divided by 2 is 14. So x is 14. So on the 15th ride, it's more expensive to go to Larry's Water World, right? Because 15th ride, 15 times $2 a ride is 30. Plus $8 admission fee is 38 bucks. So Puddles then is the better deal, right? And they want us to do that same thing for Timmy's Tidal Wave, right? So it'll be real similar, setup, and we're gonna have on Timmy's, it was a $16 admission fee. We're gonna let X be the rides again, and it's $1.83 per ride. So we're gonna make an equation real similar to what we did for Larry. So for Timmy's, it's $1.83 times X plus the $16 admission cost, and we're setting that equal to Puddles, which is the cost to get into Puddles, which is 36, and we're gonna solve that again for X. So I'm going to get rid of the 16, minus 16 to both sides. That eliminates the 16 on the left side. Bring down your 1.83x. 36 minus 16 is 20. So now we divide by 1.83, both sides. 1.83 divided by 1.83 is 1. 1 times x is x. 20 divided by 1.83 is 10.9. So on the 11th ride, it's going to be more expensive at Timmy's Tidal Wave. All right. So that's how you set that up, all right? Now, on the last part of the question, part C, and I'm going to go back and show you part C. It says, and yours looks similar to this, for all 3 water parks, the cost is the function of the number of rides. Compare the functions for all 3 water parks in terms of their rate of change. Describe the impact it has on the total cost of attending each park. Your problem C on part 2 is super similar. So I want you to do on your C what I'm doing here, and I'm going to show you my work in a sec. All right, so here's my work for C. I got the 3 water parks, right? Here's Larry's cost. Remember the equation. It was $2 for each ride times X, the number of rides you go on to, plus 8, and that was the $8 admission cost. For Timmy's, it was $1.83 per ride. X was the number of rides plus the $16 admission cost. Now for Puddles, for an equation, the cost, right, you're going to say $0 per ride because it wasn't any cost per ride, plus your $36 admission charge. that would simplify 0 times x is 0. So for Puddles, you really can just kind of represent that as $36, okay? Now, it says to interpret what kind of that means. So this is what I said for Larry's, right? So Larry's, all right, has the lowest admission cost because his is $8 to get in, Timmy's is $16, Puddles is $36, but Larry's has the highest cost per ride, right? His is $2 per ride, Timmy's is $1.83, and Puddles is 0. Now for Timmy, I say here, he's got a higher admission cost, right, than Larry's. It's the 16, but a lower ride cost. And finally, for Puddles, I said Puddles has the highest admission cost and the lowest ride cost, obviously 0. So Puddles is going to be your best deal if you're going to go on a lot of rides or if you're going to spend on like staying the whole day, all right? So hope that helps you out with problem 2, and that covers everything there. And remember, your A, B, and C are super similar to mine, so model yours just like this. Thanks, guys.